All right, let's now expand this conversation further with the Lagos Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Commission, Kehinde Hamzat. He joins me on the news at 1 and he joins me in the studio. Good to have you join us. So some of the claims that were made or the reasons given as part of the reasons for the incessant car explosions in that report by you was rejected by the president of the National Association of Road Transport Owners. We spoke to him earlier at 12. And he said that, look, bad road is one of the major reasons why they continue to have these explosions. And I wanted to speak to that claim by him.
Well, thank you. I'm not saying that bad road is not one of those things that cause, but calling it a major cause is what I want to refute. In the sense that, you see, we have three major things that are the cause of crashes. Let's not talk about tanker crashes alone. Let's talk generally. We have the human, we have the vehicle itself, and we have the road. Now, when we're talking of these three, human factor, mechanical, and environmental factor, the human takes charge of every other thing. They are able to handle every other thing the way it is. You cannot change that situation as it is, but you can change your driving technique when you drive. Okay, because the weather is bad, you cannot see probably 300 meters ahead. Because a road had said you can drive at maybe 100 kilometers per hour maximum speed. And this is a case you cannot even see 50 meters. Will you still drive at 100 kilometers per hour? There and then the common sense driving technique comes in. You have seen a bad road. You cannot fix it immediately. So it behoves on the driver to know how best to maneuver the vehicle to be able to drive safely. You know the kind of product you are carrying. You know you are carrying liquid. You know the effect of liquid in a container. It has a counterflow when it flows. You see, when you drive and you tend to turn right, for example, the liquid pushes you left. So if the road is bad, for example, if you are able to maneuver and you are not contending or contesting, probably with other road drivers or with the road shoulder, you want to get down from the shoulder, you get down gently, and you know that definitely the content of your vehicle will push your vehicle a little. So that is professionalism.
While he agrees that, you know, yeah, there are human errors and there's a human factor, but he does believe that it is quite negligible, that it is sometimes, you know, the fatigue of drivers, and that's occasional. He strongly believes it is environmental and has nothing, maybe a little bit mechanical, and has nothing much to do with mechanical and human. Is there an ongoing conversation between you, you know, that's the FRSC and that union to mitigate situations like this?
Of course, we meet every. Okay, the whole thing started in 2014 when there are incessant issue of falling tankers, falling trailers. Then the stakeholders at different levels met and they agreed, okay, let us put some things in place that will take care of this activity. The NOPENG, PTD, Pengesans, everybody, including, people in charge of the SON, FRSC, the engineers, they met together. What do we do to mitigate against this menace? And everybody seemed to have a role to play. Now, when you say human factor is not, there's nothing you can do to weather. There's nothing you can do immediately to bad road. So it is the human being that needs to use his common sense to drive safely from point A to point B. If you cannot change a situation, you change your own self to the situation to ensure that you take the content you are carrying. Don't forget, we're talking of the various things it will affect. The economy, because it's a loss of resources when you throw away the vehicle, the content of the vehicle, and of course, the colossal loss of human being. So you talk of human being to be able to drive safely. I'm not saying other factors are not there, but in terms of road traffic crashes, human factor takes over 70% of the cause of road traffic crashes.
What is the FRSC doing now? I mean, we can talk about those that have lost 100 lives lost in January alone. Was just almost at the end of January. And then let's not even talk about those whose lives have been maimed and changed forever because of burns. And so is there anything that the FRSC is doing right now to enforce, you know, some certain rules, you know, just to ensure that this is mitigated going forward?
We're not here to apportion blames. We're here to look at the way forward. So before now, FRSC has done something. We have this Safe to Load program. It did not just come. It came as a result of this stakeholders meeting that they had recently, like I mentioned. So we have our staff at various depots that are checking these vehicles from the loading bay. Not as if these tankers just go out. Unfortunately, there are a lot of sharp practices being carried out by even operators. You can see a vehicle transporting a vehicle, a product from the depot. The moment it gets out of the depot, they will go and transload it into another substandard. I'm not saying that's the case in all situations, but majorly they transfer it into another content that does not even have a name, that is not attached to any company. So, as it is now, we are scaling up our enforcement strategy such that not only at the depot, even on the road, we are ready to work with PTD. Safety is everybody's responsibility. Even the regulators we are ready to work with. You know, when they see their people, we have agreed that we're going to work on enforcement, not only road safety personnel, we will judge up with members of the community and of course, other stakeholders to ensure that we put these things to check. And of course, there are a lot of discussion going on between the top-ranking point of the Federal Road Safety and, of course, Department of Petroleum Resources to ensure that this is taken and held down at the tide. Okay, there was a time, for example, we have these falling containers every now and then. Falling containers every now and then. We had to relate with other stakeholders, and you can see the menace has reduced. We should not be talking of reactive issue. We should be proactive in all we are doing, and that is exactly what we are going back to. We're going back to the drawing board to see exactly what is happening. How do we tackle it? How do we tame it so that it does not continue to raise its ugly?
Well, Nigerians are looking up to you and everyone who is stakeholders on this matter to do the needful to ensure that lives and property are safeguarded. Thank you so much for your time. Lagos State Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Kehinde Hamzat. Thank you for your time.
My sincere pleasure.